Salutations, second graders, and welcome to Math Day 4 of our mobile learning platform. Today we're talking about before and after the hour. You will need your math page in front of you. It has, page 339 has a picture of a guinea pig, and at the top of the page it says 12.4, before and after the hour. Boys and girls, we've been working with before and after the hour most of the year. Remember, we've talked about a quarter till, a quarter after, half past, 10 minutes till, 5 minutes after. We haven't gone in depth, so today we'll get a little bit more in depth on that. Let's go ahead and take a look at my clock. And my clock, boys and girls, shows the numbers 1 through 12. Now, how many of you can tell me how many hours are in a day? Jackson, how many hours are in one day? Well, there's 12 hours on the clock, 24 hours in a day. That means that we have to go around the clock 2 times. Boys and girls, those 2 times are morning and, AM and PM. So AM, we've talked about this before. AM is the hour from 12:01 AM. After midnight, it's morning. So 12:01 AM to 11:59 AM, and then we have 12 PM, and that's also the time that we call noon. So boys and girls, noon, 12 o'clock PM is the middle of the day, and 12 o'clock AM is the middle of the night. But AM is normally what we call morning, and PM is normally what we call afternoon, evening. So let's go ahead and take a look at your paper today. Get that in front of you and let's get started. All right, looking on your paper, let's read along at the top. It says Whitney has two new guinea pigs, Topsy and Turvy. Topsy woke up at 6:45. Turvy woke up 15 minutes before 7. Which pet woke up earlier? Giovanni. That's right. They woke up at the same time. 6:45 is the same as 45 minutes after 6, and 45 minutes after 6 is the same as 15 minutes before 7, or a quarter to 7. Second graders, good job. Let's move on down the paper, and we're going to read, both guinea pigs woke at the same time, 6:45 AM, or 15 minutes before 7 AM. Now, just like I just told you, the time from midnight to noon is AM. And the time from noon to midnight is PM. All right, so let's take a look at our paperwork today. Today we're going to write the time on the line and fill in the missing numbers. Boys and girls, looking at your first clock, what do you have there? Sierra, what time is this clock showing me? Well, you're right. The hour hand's not quite to the 3 yet. So we're in the 2 o'clock hour. So 2, and what is our minute hand? 50, 2:50. So how else can we say that time? Sonia. 50 minutes, 50 minutes after 2. Now I can say it one other way. Who remembers? Max. 10 minutes before 3. Excellent job. All right, looking at the next clock then, go ahead and tell me, what time is this clock showing us? Caesar. Okay, let's look at our minute hand, or our hour hand first, right? Hour hand first. It's between the 9 and the 10. So our hour is 9. And the minute hand's pointing right down here at the 7. Who can remind me, what is the 7 on the clock minute-wise. Let's count by fives. Ready? We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So this clock's showing us that it's 9:35. How can we say that differently? Who can help me? Go ahead, please, Jax. 35 minutes after 9. And then how many minutes before what? Who can do that math? Joshua. You're right. It's 25 minutes before 10. Okay, I'm going to let you work on number 3 on your own. Turn your paper over and let's see what we can do here. We have to fill in the missing numbers. So for numbers 4 through 9, second graders, you're going to tell me how many minutes after or before. Okay, so you need to figure it out. How many minutes after? So if we're doing after on number 4, we're going to go like this. It's how many minutes after what time? So what are our minutes? First, we want to know the minutes, so we can fill that part in. That's right. It's going to be 40 minutes after. It's not 2 o'clock yet. 1. 40 minutes after 1. Okay, and if you look at number 5, how many minutes before? How many minutes before? So first, what is the hour if we're going for before? I'm between the 10 and 11, so it's before 11. And how many minutes before 11? Guys, we can count back. Let's start at the top and count back. We're going to go here's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it's 25 minutes before 11. I know that might be a little bit confusing for you. If it is, you can wait and we'll come back and do the rest of the paper together. But let's move on for those friends who need to keep on going. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next section. Circle the earlier time in each box. Is 10 minutes to 5 the earlier time, or is 5:10 the earlier time? Bradley. 10 minutes to 5 is the earlier time. It hasn't been 5 o'clock yet. And the second time, 5:10, it's already been 5 o'clock. Don't let the words scare you, second graders. Think about it. You've got this. Let's go ahead then. Our word problems today say, what is an activity you might do at 10:30 in the morning? 10:30 a.m. Remember, a.m. is morning. What would you do at 10:30 a.m.? Second graders, you're at home. What do you do at 10:30 a.m.? Would you be doing schoolwork? Would you be sleeping? Maybe you'd be eating breakfast. Or maybe you would be doing math. I don't know. You would go ahead and fill that in. And then what is an activity you might do at 7 p.m.? Would you be watching TV in the evening? 7 p.m. Normally you might be done with dinner. Maybe you're eating dinner. Maybe you're taking your bath or your shower. You fill those in, and then when you're done, you can shut it down. If you'd like, you can stay on and we'll finish the page. Go ahead if you're staying on and flip the paper back over. And if you're logging out, bye second grade, see you later. All right, going back to number 3. I'm going to change color of pen so that you see where we left off and what we did together. All right, if you stayed on, Sonia, let's see. Looking at number 3, it says, what time is it showing? Well, our hour hand's pointing right here. It's not quite to the 5, so it's 4 o'clock. And how many minutes? How many minutes are there, guys? Tessa, 55, 4:55. So how many minutes after what? Well, you just told me that the minutes are 55 and the hour is 4. So we're going to say 55 minutes after 4. Then we're going to go ahead and say how many minutes before the next hour. So what's the next hour, friends? We're almost to the 5 o'clock. So how many minutes before 5? Let's look. It's right here. If we count on, we know that from 11 to 12 is 5 minutes. So it's 5 minutes before 5. Good work, second grade. Let's move on to the other side of your paper. Number 6. How many minutes before? What is our hour? Let's start with minutes before. How many minutes before? Let's count back. We know if we're here, we're at the 60. So counting back, we count back 5, 10. But look, it's not pointing to the 10. So we need to go back by ones. 11, 12. Think it's 12? Very good. 12 minutes before, what's our next hour going to be? Well, we're between the 2 and the 3. So 12 minutes before 3. Good work, second graders. Moving on to number 7. Number 7, we have another clock. And let's see, JJ, can you help me read that clock? How many minutes after what hour? So remember, we want the minutes after, not the minutes before. I know it's closer to the next hour, so you want to do that one. But it's asking for the minutes after. So we are at, let's count second grade, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 50 minutes after what hour? We're between the 1 and the 2, so it's after 1. Right? So it's 50 minutes after 1. We could also call that 10 minutes to 2, but that's not what our paper wants. So let's go ahead and look at number 8. Number 8, we have how many minutes after what hour? Remember, we have to look. We want after the hour. So how many minutes? If we're pointing in the minute hand to the 9, we know the 9 is 45 minutes after. 45 minutes after what? Our hour hand is pointing between the 10 and 11, so it hasn't been 11 o'clock yet, so it's 45 minutes after 10. Awesome possum. Let's keep going. Looking at the next clock, I have how many minutes before the next hour? Well, looking at my minute hand, pointing like right in here. So I have 9 minutes before, because remember it says before, so we have to count back from the 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 minutes before, what's our hour, second graders? It's between the 2 and the 3, so it's before 3 o'clock. 9 minutes before 3. Awesome. Let's move on. We're going to circle the earlier time in each box. For number 11, we have 2:40 or 13 minutes before 3. Well, if I look at a clock and I want to go 13 minutes before 3, let's get my clock ready to show you that. Here's 3 o'clock. I need to go 13 minutes before. Here's 10, 11, 12, 13 minutes before 3 is the same as 2:47 and 2:40. Which one's the earlier time? 2:40. Excellent work, second graders. Moving on, we have 6:45 or 6:35. Remember, when we have 1/4 we're dealing with 15 minutes because 1/4 of an hour we know is worth how many minutes? 15 minutes. Good job. So 6:45 is the same as 6:45. So which one's earlier, 6:45 or 6:35? Go ahead and tell me, Kylie. 6:35. Good job. All righty, second grade, that's it for math today. I want you to have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.